The day goes by peacefully. You see very few people, if any at all. The farmlands now have turned just a straight up prairie at this point, just kind of unbuilt land. The only sort of human-made structure or man-made or person-made structure is the road that you walk on. The road is pretty well kept for being days between any sort of civilization. This is definitely a military capable road, capable of heavy wagons and other such equipment being transported on it.
Is it paved?
It's basically like a collection of tons and tons of stones inlaid into the dirt.
Cool.
So it has some load bearing capability.
Nice.
That is the definition of paved.
That's really cool.
Sorry.
That's cool for Earth.
Strong Earth on top of weak Earth.
Yes.
And so around mid-afternoon of the next day, you see a stone bridge crossing another river, and you know just from your mapping skills that Fort Alban lies close to after that bridge. And as you approach this bridge, it's large. Something just booped. Nope.
Hey Drew, I just thought you should ask Taco what your shirt says, because we don't know what it says.
Oh, yeah, I can do that later.
Okay.
So,
we don't know if it says I'm an asshole or something.
I have a Japanese shirt. So, as you approach this great stone bridge, this also is quite load-bearing. It has multiple supporting beams going into the river itself. Yeah, load-bearing bridges is Nick's thing.
You start looking at your map.
Keep going.
Looking like it could definitely take several fully armored carts. It's a military bridge. Very finely made. You can see as the rushing waters beneath you is stocked full of fish. In the great distance towards the north, you can kind of see the river open up slightly into an immense lake. And at the peak of the bridge, you're able to see further east, and you start seeing, sort of as the dusk slowly approaches, light begins to dim. You can see dotting the hillside in front of you just dozens and dozens of fires, and campfires and encampments. And this is just, you can see there's at least 40-some campfires plus of the encamped soldiers training at Fort Alban. And you can see ever so slightly against the horizon a faint keep, some sort of structure towards the center of all of these fires and fields, and faintly seeing tents and other such structures, and some kind of scurrying figures. You'll be at Fort Alban by the night. Is there anything you want to do to prepare?
So was the fight that we just had in the middle of our rest?
Yeah, so you had a long rest after the fight.
Okay. But we got all of this spell back and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is there... So who can disguise themselves as different things?
What are you thinking?
I know you can.
Me?
Yeah, can't you?
Oh, I can polymorph, but I can't disguise self.
Well, I was thinking that we might be able to get just beyond the edge of the light of the campfire, and
I could change into I don't have any flying speed, but I can change into anything.
Okay.
Is
the goal here to break into the keep?
I think we.
Monitor just said that he can create silent images.
Okay.
Yeah, I can make holograms.
Well, the objective here, I might be wrong, is to get to the leader of the keep, the owner of the fort, and to get his gala invitation.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best way to do that is to pretend to be new recruits.
That's what I was thinking.
Ooh.
Or maybe an officer leading new recruits into the keep.
Or like that, and I think you would be the perfect person to play the officer.
Really, I was thinking Monitor.
Are you serious?
Sarcastic.
Yes.
I have a high constitution, so I can Who's on over?
Constitution or charisma?
Charisma and constitution.
Okay, I'll be there. So, are we all cool with trying to get close to the camp to see if we can identify people to disguise ourselves as?
Yes.
Yeah. Is your plan?
I can't become.
You could be a horse or a
Sure.
just a regular like 5 out of 10 horse. You don't have to be sexy.
Not
or
10 out of
anything.
10.
Eh.
11 out of 10.
I was really confused.
Can you turn into an inanimate object?
What I'm.
I was trying to woo
So,
the other
Monitor asked a question.
What's up?
Can you turn into an inanimate
Can I what?
An anaconda?
inanimate object?
Oh.
I cannot be an inanimate object.
Do you turn into a dead
Can't be
animal?
like a spoon or anything.
Could be a dead
One of many spoons.
I could pretend to be dead.
Can
I
you
don't
cast
have.
disguise self on you?
No, I don't have disguise self.
Do you have a disguise kit?
Do not. I'm not proficient in disguise.
What if we waited for a majority of the soldiers to fall asleep at these camps?
Mm-hmm.
Let
Snuck
me
into
see.
one of those
Let me
sites
look at my
and
level 3 spells.
took a few of their uniforms.
Because after a long rest, I can change my
You do
spells
that.
They're not
so
gonna
I
be
can
wearing them to
see
bed.
like useful ones. Because I would have known what was going to happen today.
True.
You know. Okay. Gaseous form. That's useful.
That would be good.
Meld into stone is useful. You can become a rock. Water breathing.
Can we, while we're discussing, can we like kind of scout out the most isolated of the campfires?
Okay, so these
Yes,
are the
make a
ones.
perception check.
So I can
All
already
those?
breathe underwater.
You can give him
so-
advantage. You're helping him out.
Okay.
So roll at
Okay,
advantage, Mary.
So, is there a river next to us?
Ooh.
You're crossing the only river that you're aware of.
Oh, that's better.
Okay, this spell literally lets up to 10 people breathe underwater.
However, Fort Alban is a good 10 miles away from the river. You're seeing it on the horizon right now.
It's 24 hours of breathing underwater.
Okay.
Did you say perception?
That could be a
16.
fun. That could be fun.
It'd be a nice getaway if we need to.
Is it
Wait,
on the
no,
river?
can we
Like,
go
does it
into the
rest
sewers?
on it, or
The fort, no, so you're currently crossing the bridge over the river. About 10 or so miles in front
Past
of you,
the river.
towards past
Okay.
the river to
Okay.
the east is the
Gotcha.
fort.
So my two spells that I'm picking for today for level 3 are water breathing, which can be a spell grants up to 10 willing creatures the ability to breathe underwater for 24 hours. And then you can also breathe in air. And then gaseous form, which I can either make myself or someone else turn into a cloud of gas, which can like go through cracks and stuff like that.
Monitor, what did
no
you
one
say?
else can see them. Like it's
I'm thinking.
we're pretty far away from it?
24 hours of water breathing. He said we'd be there by night.
You'll be there, yeah, soon.
So,
by full
if we
nightfall. It's
travel-
currently dusk.
If we like travel by the bottom of the ocean, that could be pretty cool.
Okay.
Or the bottom of the river. That
Yeah,
could
but the
be
river
pretty cool.
doesn't go up to the fort.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't?
So yeah, you're currently on the bridge. The fort is about 10 miles to the east. The river runs north-south.
That's why I'm saying if we need to make a getaway, that would be useful.
Yeah.
I'll just keep that then.
Okay.
However, you
look at my
would
level 2
leave your
spells.
horses behind.
Oh, that's right.
Right. Maybe I
Shit.
should do
Paid a
something
shit
else.
ton of money for those horses.
Yeah, we did.
I stole that horse.
And you rolled really high for one of them.
I would like to keep Greg.
I'd like to keep Greg as well.
What about Pancake?
Pancake. Yeah.
Greg, and Pancake.
Yeah.
Alright, so what is my 16 perception?
So as you
Right.
at this top of this bridge, you have a solid vantage point. It seems to be mostly concentric around the fort itself. Various fires dot in and out. There isn't necessarily one weak point. However, there is a hillside that you would approach and have a vantage point closer into the camps themselves before you'd actually be within the borders that you could use to get a better look and kind of properly scout the locations.
Okay.
Let's go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You good with that? Monitor, you good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you start slowly keeping your horse from a full trot that might make some noise. You head closer and closer down the road, and then you split off the road, and for a good 20 minutes or so, you head away from the road and up this hillside. As you get closer, you hear this soft beating of drums, this rhythmic beating of drums, and you hear yeah, yeah, like people training with sword strokes into some sort of rhythm. You can see.
Is it
that-
like about dusk time?
Yeah.
Like still some daylight left?
Very barely daylight at this point.
I'm getting rid of water breathing just so everyone knows.
Okay. Merrick, you in particular, you're seeing most of this action happening by the flickers of the campfires, and pretty much everybody else, because at this range, dark vision doesn't matter. So you can, just the silhouettes passing in and out of the light of the fires. Some of them still like doing drills to dummies, and the closer and closer you get, you make out more of this keep. It seems to be a central, maybe like 2-floor tall stone building. You can see a single light on in a window in the building itself. It's surrounded by some wooden walls. You can see there's an open gate and several guards kind of usher in and out equipment. There are guards you can see carrying torches on the sides of the walls, keeping watch. And you're easily in the presence of like a good 5,000 men.
Alright. What time is it about?
At this point, it's about 9 o'clock. Like, you're losing the last sliver of sunlight. It's pretty much full night at this point.
Alright. I'd like to make a perception check on
I'll assist him in this perception.
as to where the lookouts tend to be.
Okay.
Don't do it with food.
16.
16. Okay. I love
Are they watching Arrested Development?
Yes.
Yeah, they are.
Nice.
So, you get closer. It seems the majority of the actual lookouts are just concentrated around the keep and the keep walls.
Okay.
The only sort of patrolmen seem to be like duos of guards, like a good maybe 8 or so duos of guards who are just constantly cycling through the various like campfires. Some of them stop and like chat for a while. A couple of them have a quick flagon of ale while no one's looking, and they just kind of making continuous rounds while a good 95% of the camp is either doing some sort of training, eating, or in their tents.
So no like exterior walls or watchtowers beyond the actual keep.
Correct.
Okay.
I think we should wait for a couple hours for a majority of the camp to go to sleep.
I agree. I
And-
can change it to a giant spider and climb over the wall.
Again.
Hey, it worked last
It
time.
did.
I could take someone with me.
You, in particular, when looking for lookouts, you saw nobody walking on the roof of the keep, just around the walls.
Okay.
It's helpful.
That was very helpful.
How is there any? So there's the keep in the middle, and there's a bunch of camps and tents, basically in a circle around the keep.
Yes.
So there's no like Pac-Man shape V where we would go unmolested straight to the wall of the keep.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, this seems that it's not any sort of camp designed for defense. This is not a holding pattern for an army.
Mhm.
This is just training surrounded by one center defended position.
Okay.
Surrounding one center defended position.
What if we went with your idea and just reported in as new recruits?
Like all of us,
Yeah.
we could.
Can we see the makeup of the army? Is it mostly just humans, or is there sort of a?
It's very noticeably just human men.
Okay.
I think. Well,
We could probably pass.
I think no matter what we go with, I think a primary goal besides getting this invitation should be to acquire uniforms so that if we do need to make an escape, we can easily blend in with the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Monitor, what are you thinking about the situation?
We'll do in uniform.
Well,
So,
they are. Okay, so what Rosebud told us was they're looking to take over Cardis? Is that the gnome?
Yeah, Cardis, and particularly the capital of Sparrow Rest.
Okay. We could have Sahalia turn into a horse. You and I could go up as hired mercenaries and turn Monitor in as sort of like a gnome spy that we found.
Yes.
But then we have to deal with breaking him out.
True.
I can
You
change someone into a gaseous form.
you haven't noticed any sort of structure that would resemble like a holding cell.
Okay.
It's just tents and campfires and like equipment racks.
Can we just
So
ask
you would-
to be let in?
You would
as-
assume that a prisoner would be brought to the keep.
Okay, the merits I give that's them.
Are you okay with being bait, Monitor?
I think that's my usual role, so
He's small
Cannot
enough for
complain.
it.
Can we still manage to grab some uniforms?
Sure. I don't see why we wouldn't.
Okay.
Wait, so we're stealing things?
Yeah.
We are. Yeah, we're gonna have to.
We could duck in, grab some unis, duck out, and then we could
Some
dress up as
units?
guards. Bring them in.
Yeah.
That would be a lot more plausible.
Right.
Taco, in the chat, I just sent a link to the sound background that I'm using that is perfect for this situation.
okay.
Just turn off the in pain track.
Yeah. No, because if we dress up as guards, I think that would be fine. Given that there are about 5,000 soldiers here, no one's gonna notice the difference between you and I and two other schmucks.
Oh, mine.
And Sahelia is gonna be a horse.
Or I could steal and also be a guard.
Well,
Unless a horse would be easier.
you're fairly different looking than us. It seems like it's mostly
I look like an elf, right?
human male.
Yeah, something that you were in the bathroom during. The army is pretty much entirely human males.
I would say.
My skin is just a dark grayish blue.
But knowing the semi-racially charged nature of the proposed invasion, you would understand the
Okay.
kind of racial
I guess
purity
that
here.
makes sense. They're racist. I should become a horse.
Can I make another perception check?
What are you looking for?
I'm looking to see if any of the groups or the duos of guards have like wolves or dogs with them.
Sure.
Oh yeah, should I be a wolf or should I be a...
Yeah, that would be good. 21.
There's definitely dogs in a handful of them. Roughly half of the duos seem to have some sort of dog just kind of walking around every now and then sniffing the ground.
How do you feel about being a dog?
I won't be very strong, but... Are there also war horses or is it only...
The
Like, what did he see other than regular dogs? Like, what do people generally have with them? Because I can be a war horse, I can also be a dog, but if we came to, like, into a fight, I would be useless on the fight.
There are various, like, some of the campsites have some carts that have been, like, parked at them, and they seem to be carrying some sort of equipment.
But it seems like the dogs are the ones following people.
The dogs are the ones accompanying people. Like,
Okay.
there might be a handful of horses that are currently hitched, like, somewhat away from the
I'll
campfire.
just be a dog to play it safe.
yeah.
That's why I think it'd be
Just
more
stay
plausible if
close
we
to us.
walked up with a dog.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be a dog.
Okay.
I should know how to transform into a dog, right? I live
What are
in like
the
Yeah,
a city area / out.
yeah.
what are the uniforms of the soldiers look like?
They seem to be. So you saw the uniforms of, like, there were the fire soldiers that you saw in the burnt hills. You saw the city guardsmen, the bridge guardsmen. All of them were very well dressed, and they had that 3 wavy line insignia of Riverfield. These men seem to have very basic, like, cloth / leather armor with that 3 wavy line insignia.
Okay.
Is very tattered, seemingly hit by several strikes of, like, practiced swords.
Helmets.
The patrolmen themselves have, like, basic leather armor. Some of them seem maybe perhaps studded as they kind of glint in the firelight.
Okay. Well, how long's your hair? The key throws? Can you cover your ears with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, can I cover my ears with my hair?
Yeah.
No, it's short.
Are there
He can cover his ears with a hat or a helmet. right?
Right. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I was asking. The helmet. Does
scarf.
it? Is it like?
Some of them have like basic leather helms.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna need one of those.
Yeah.
I'll tuck my ears into the helm.
All right. Do you?
That's a good point. I didn't even think of that.
Do you want to turn into a dog, scout out some drunk sleeping soldiers for us?
I'll
And then
change
we
into
can-
like one of the dogs we've seen walking around, pretty much like an exact version.
And we can
Okay.
try and pop in, steal some uniforms.
It's like a mutt.
Okay.
Hop into a campsite.
Yeah.
So, Monitor, what are you doing during this? Just gonna wait to be bait.
I'm supposed to be first. Yeah.
Monitor.
I'll think myself.
Can you put people to sleep with your music?
Yeah. I have a sleep spell.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Very good.
Let's go to an outer. Let's go to an outer encampment, and like make sure that they're asleep with that, and then we could loot whatever they have.
Smart.
Okay. Let me get that.
Do you have
Your
an app
stats.
to roll initiative for 5,000 soldiers?
Roll initiative for the Army of Riverfield.
Alright, so we're gonna wait for an hour while
They
this
rolled a
calculates initiative.
21.
You take 8,000 damage.
And you are instantly killed.
You were attacked by the entire army at once. They're just recruits.
I saw Drew whenever he rolls like for a group of people, they all get the same initiative, so they roll like 30. So they get a hit first.
Did they really?
It's easier to track if all of the bad guys go at the same time or all of the same type of bad guy go at the same time.
Makes sense.
Okay, so closest to you, the fireplaces. There being like a good 40 or so of these fireplaces. The entirety of the training field and the keep itself encompasses like a good 2 miles diameter circle. It's quite large, and each fireplace is roughly 100 feet apart from its adjacent neighbor, with maybe 6 or so. No, more than that. Probably 10 or so layers of fireplace concentrically leading up to the center keep. This road heading straight into the keep's main gate. The closest fireplace to you, 100 feet separation in between. There's a the road pretty much is to your left, leading up to the fort. There's a fireplace about 100 feet from the road. 100 feet to the right of that is another fireplace, and 100 feet towards the fort is another fireplace.
Okay, so here's my plan. I turn into a mutt or whatever, and Monitor can speak to me, so I can walk into the camp and check everything out. They'll let you know how the best plan of attack would be to get into the camp.
Do you think an unaccompanied dog would go unnoticed?
How about one
Yeah.
bark for clear, 2 barks for not clear? Would
If
she
I bark,
remember
I'll
that
wake
as a
people
dog?
up.
Yeah, she remains her intellect.
Yeah, but we can put people to sleep.
I keep my intellect and charisma.
Yeah, that's a druid thing. Other people who polymorph assume the intelligence of the animal.
Okay.
So, does that sound good, or do you guys have another plan?
I was thinking maybe tying up Monitor's hands with a really loose knot, just in case we get caught, we can still try and pass ourselves off as
Isn't he gonna play
bounty
people to
hunters or
sleep?
something. Yeah, but he can get out of it pretty easily. Monitor, do you need your hands to cast the sleep spell?
Yes, he does.
Okay, yeah.
Double check the elements. If it has S to the casting components, then yeah.
If his hands are in front of him, would he be able to do that?
He
It's not D. Or no, it's D. Or VSM.
VSM, so yeah, he doesn't need his hands,
Okay.
and as in he needs to be able to play his dulcimer.
Oh, okay. Alright.
This background sound is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
think-
perfect.
I think going to an outer camp in our current form would be the best way to approach this.
Okay.
Okay. We still want to get uniforms though, right?
Yeah, that would be the whole purpose of going into an outer camp.
Okay, so her not as
we
a
can
dog,
go in
just
and then
the
we
4
can
of
try
us
to get
regular.
uniforms.
Yeah,
that
because
way.
you're going to be able to be most useful as a druid.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
That's
can
what
all
we're
just
trying
try and stealth it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Monitor, you good with that?
Grab the grabs.
Yeah.
Things.
So what's the plan?
We're going to an outer
We're gonna
encampment,
sneak
like
into it.
something on the outer edge of that 2-mile diameter.
Yeah.
Try and stealth up on some sleeping soldiers. Take
Okay.
their stuff.
I'd also like to, after we put them to sleep, put out the fire.
Okay. Be aware that the roaming guards seem to be heading fireplace to fireplace.
Like in
It might
a,
be suspicious if the
in
fire's
a
out.
circle.
A snuffed fire might draw suspicion.
We can just.
Especially because it's not like 3 a.m. and it didn't wane out on its own.
True. Okay.
You could wait longer until more people are asleep.
We could
What-
have someone
what time
look
is
out
it? It
for
just-
other people. Yeah.
What was that, Taco?
We could have one of us like watch out for people coming into that encampment.
So you're saying like watch out for the guards that are roaming, and then like as soon as they finish scouting whatever encampment we're scouting, we move in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That sounds good to me.
You said it's about 9 o'clock right now.
We
Yeah.
can do like a group stealth check, or would it be separate?
This would be a group.
How, roughly how much of the camp is getting settled in for the night?
At this point, it seems to be kind of boozing hour. Of the like 80% of the camp that isn't training or patrolling, a good like 3/4 of them are either like piss drunk or asleep.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
A quarter of them look to be in a reasonable alert condition.
Let's
You-
wait like 2
yeah.
hours and see
Yeah,
what
I
happens.
think that's
I'm
a
good
good
with
idea.
that.
Okay.
We can like pick the one that we're gonna try to plan on moving in on and waiting like in the bushes or the woods a decent distance away
Yeah.
until
Yeah,
we stop
as close
seeing
as we can
movement.
get.
Yeah.
As close as we can get without being detected,
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
good with that.
and then we can just lay down so that no one's gonna be able to see us really,
Okay.
unless they come directly to that area.
Sahalia, make a nature check.
Or a nature check.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Does she get advantage?
No.
Human intelligence or human military encampment?
You would get advantage. Never mind.
I would.
Yes.
14.
Wait, you're
Knowing
I have a -1 on nature.
Wow.
Really? Knowing
Survival, I have a +7.
knowing that some of the roaming guards have dogs, sight might not be the only thing you need to conceal if you were to get close.
Guys, wait.
Ooh.
Wait, there's dogs, right? And dogs can smell us real good. They can smell real good. So we might have to get a little bit farther, or somehow mask our scent with like mud, something that we'd be able to wash off before sneaking in.
You and I could feasibly get, well, we could all get feasibly dirty because dogs are dirty. And mercenaries who just captured someone who had a bounty on their head, there's probably a scuffle.
Have we?
Might make our alibi
Does it
more
look like
believable.
it's rained? Like, is there mud around, or is it just dirt?
It's been
Roll for rain.
literally. It has rained in the past like day or so.
Okay, so
Nice.
there would be a good amount of mud because if we're in a field, most of the time there's like dips in the field that
What'd
are
you say, Taco?
completely-
Be right back. I have to pick up some fluids.
Okay. Keep going.
So that means if we're in a field, usually there's potholes, not really potholes, but like dips in the field that the water would collect. So we kind of like, ended up in one of those
Well,
areas.
Can I ask, on our route in 10 miles out, did we see any exterior patrols beyond the camp limits? Like, would it even be feasible if we were to take uniforms to have 2 soldiers come in with someone that they saw sneaking about? Or would it be like, we don't even keep patrols or scouts that far away from the camp? There's like, this is clearly
Well, if
a
we
ruse.
are hiding, then obviously there's going to be patrols.
You hadn't seen this.
I'm just asking if it would be plausible for soldiers to bring in someone from beyond the camp as a suspect.
During your travels here, you passed up what seemed to be just there was like 2 guards that were accompanying like an armored cart carrying like swords.
Okay.
Then we can say it was robbed.
You did not see any patrols, and looking around towards the road, you don't see any sort of torchlight. It seems that this force isn't here to patrol the lands. They're here to train and keep the force itself
Well,
and the contents of the keep safe.
we can say that he was thieving.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
he was
rummaging
through our stuff, trying to take some good weapons of ours.
That's good.
Exactly what we're gonna do, but
Right.
he got caught.
Yeah.
I just want to get our story straight.
So that's our story, all right?
Good idea.
Okay.
Monitor.
He's taking care of things.
We can either do that or basically give them the alibi of like what's going to actually happen. Like we found him playing a sleeping charm on an encampment.
That might tip him off as to what he can actually do, though.
Yeah.
And they might
We want him
take
to
measures
seem like
to
he's, like,
stop
a
him
weak
from being able to
link.
cast stuff.
That's a good point. Okay, I like your idea, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Should we wait for?
Yeah, we'll wait for Taco to rejoin us. Okay, so inform him of the plan.
Shit, I forgot. Okay, so we're gonna.
Oh wait, I'm gonna act as the prisoner.
Right, you're gonna be the prisoner, but the reason you're a prisoner is because you were caught rummaging through the camp trying to steal stuff, not that you were a lookout. Okay?
Okay.
Alright. So we good to go?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright.
Are we getting uniforms for you and I?
Yeah.
And then
Wait,
should I
is there
change?
gonna be a signal where I cast my spell,
So
the sleep spell?
we have a
Our-
two-part plan with a contingency. The first part is that we're going to sneak up to the camp, find some sleeping guards, and take their uniforms. And the contingency is if they're not asleep, you cast your sleeping spell on them. And then the second part of the plan is that we walk you through the camp and turn you in as a thief so that we can get into the fort to find what we need.
Sounds good.
Cool.
I think regardless, he should play the sleep spell. Even if they are already
I'll
asleep,
probably do that.
it would probably reduce the chances that they wake up.
Does it cancel out? If they're already asleep and you play a sleeping spell on them,
No.
do they wake up with full energy?
No.
I feel like it would just renew their sleep.
Yeah, it
Like,
would like
X
make
over
sure
1
they're
times
asleep.
1 over X is just 1.
Yeah.
Does a sleep spell casted on a sleeping person cancel out their sleep?
No.
Just makes them more sleepy.
It just keeps them asleep.
Yeah, my idea is like that no matter what, while Taco's playing the spell, we can go in and
Okay.
like...
Yeah.
Like if someone's asleep,
Oh, wait,
and you
would
give
we
them
be
a
affected by
sleeping
the
pill,
spell?
they're not gonna wake
I
up.
think it has to be directed
No.
towards
Ta-
someone.
Taco, read the description of the spell, the sleep spell.
The sleep spell?
Yeah.
Sends creatures into a magical slumber. Each creature affected by the spell falls unconscious until the spell ends.
Okay.
How many can you affect at once?
It's a range of 90 feet, 20 feet.
90-foot radius.
No, how many creatures can you
No,
affect
if
at once?
if it's within the range.
Oh, if it's
they're
within the
affected.
range?
Yes.
Oh, so we just have to stay behind him then while he's casting
Creatures
it?
within 20 feet of a point.
Okay, and that point can be cast 90 feet away.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so that's what he describes to you, and you understand. It wouldn't affect you.
Okay. Alright, let's find
Because it's
our
only
unsuspecting
enemies, or-
soldiers.
Okay.
Alright.
So you're
So do you
sneaking
want
up.
me to be a druid for now, and then once you get the armor, then I become a dog?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
And to clarify, it's like 2 or 3 in the morning now.
You see, you've waited until most of the camp is asleep.
Yeah.
we're
Okay.
like falling asleep ourselves.
Okay.
And if we can, like you said, wait until a patrol is
Has
just
been-
leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've timed it. You see, like, a patrol has come, kind of chatted with one of the, like, drunk man still awake at the campfire, and then they begin patrolling away with the dog, as you then all sneak up. So everybody roll stealth.
Don't fuck me, Gil.
Yeah. 11.
Alright.
16.
21.
22.
Okay.
Oh, fuck you.
So easily enough, you're all keeping super, super quiet, and especially now that the dog and its nose is absent, you get closer and you see there's 2 tents with seemingly people that would be asleep inside of them. There's one guard kind of asleep near the fire, and one of them with like what must have been his 10th like flagon of ale that day, like real out of it, just blasted, but still conscious, staring at the fire.
Okay.
You sneak up, perfectly quiet. What do you want to do?
Monitor, I think now's the time to cast your sleeping spell on these guys.
Okay. I'm gonna roll.
Yeah, roll your 5d8.
One,
Take away hit points?
No,
7,
he rolls how many hit points he can knock unconscious.
6, 7, and 8.
That is so
I
bad.
do. Turn off the drumming and the screaming.
Yes.
That was 5, right?
How many did you roll?
3.
What was the total?
That was like
Sounds good.
15.
15. Okay. So you pull out your dulcimer, kind of like army crawling with an assault rifle, but it's your dulcimer. As you very quietly get into position, kind of stand up on one knee and begin playing this ever so like it is one of the most calming lullabies you all have ever heard. As you can see this magical aura start emanating out from his dulcimer towards the drunken man. He's knocked out like a light. And you can see the people, like the one guard who is asleep by the fire and kind of tossing and turning a little bit. He's now out cold and snoring quite loudly.
Alright.
Are they, nice job, Monitor, are they in their uniforms, or have they stripped down and are in, like, their dungarees or whatever?
The two that are by the fire, you can see they're in their, like, basic training uniforms still. Well, don't play that, actually.
Oh.
Because it's going to copyright strike the video.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah, yeah. Real life pains.
Oh.
So yeah, they're knocked out cold. Two of the two men that you can see are wearing their training uniforms still.
Is there like a chest in the tent or any kind of like footlocker that might have not being worn uniforms?
You don't see much in terms of storage other than what might be inside the tents.
Alright, we should probably strip these guys then. Take their
Yeah.
stuff.
And I'll just keep a lookout because I don't need a uniform, so
Yeah.
I can be extra eyes.
Okay, you make a perception check. Monitor, what are you doing during this?
I'm gonna. I should
Oh,
just.
hell yeah. 23.
Monitor, what'd you say?
I'll make another perception check for Ronnie.
Okay, so you'd give advantage to Sahalia.
She rolled an
And I
natural
rolled a
20.
natural
Okay,
20.
so-
I can't get higher.
Sweet. So you're
Struggles, I know.
perfectly understand the rotation of the guards. At the current moment, there is a guard duo walking towards the next campfire in the chain before you. Usually they spend a couple minutes at that campfire and then begin their 100-foot plus walk towards your campfire.
Okay. So, whenever they get to be like, I'm gonna say, So, how far away are they? Like, sorry, repeat that. Just repeat.
So the closest campfire to you, it's going in Fort Alban at the center, and you're on the southwest corner essentially. It goes in a counterclockwise rotation.
Mhm.
And so there's 100 feet to the northwest is the road, and then about 50-ish feet to the more northwest of the road is the next campfire. So they're approaching that campfire, going to spend a few minutes there, and then they'll have about a 150-foot walk towards your campfire.
Okay, whenever they start the walk to our campfire, I'm gonna warn them.
Okay. So you guys go make just a sleight of hand check.
Hold
At
on. Did the guards not strip down to go to sleep?
Uh-huh.
The
They
two that are
should.
by the fire are wearing their training uniforms. You don't know if the people inside the tents would be wearing it or not.
Okay.
19 for sleight of hand.
Okay, easy enough. You're able to slip it off. They're out cold in like a deep arcane slumber, and you realize you didn't even have to be gentle. They like you're able to strip off their clothes, and their head like lifts up and then like against the like log that they're sitting on. And he's still just completely out.
Do I need to also do sleight of hand for?
After you see him like fuck up the guard's head and not cause a problem at all, you're just not a care in the world. You just rip it off. Yeah.
Can I accidentally slip a spoon into one of their necks?
You want to ruin
like,
this?
No, I'm kidding.
And nothing else. A soft little spoon smack.
You just decide your character loves spoons as well as maps.
Sure.
And diced meats.
In karate.
Yeah.
People.
Yes.
Karates.
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 Guys, yeah.
Karate.
Alright.
So, you suit up. On your more slender frame, it's a little bit bulky, but it still works. It looks like a poorly issued standard issue training outfit.
Does he have a helmet that can cover his ears?
Oh, yeah.
The drunken one was wearing a helmet, and so you're able to take his kind of just leather coif and shove it over your ears.
Okay.
Cool.
Orbit.
Okay, so you got the guards still talking at that northwestern camp past the road. There's a camp 100 feet inwards towards the fort, and a camp 100 feet to the northeast. What's the plan?
I've
Oh, I'm
seen.
also gonna just. Hey, can you guys pick me up something as well in case I have to transform out of a dog? Because I kind of
Like
look
an-
weird. Once we get into the city, right?
Is there like a shroud or a raincoat or cloak that
Or
they,
just get-
like a poncho kind of thing that she might be able to cover herself with?
Monitor, what'd you say?
We could just get in the uniform, right?
We could. I think her hair might give things away, though.
And the fact that she's a dark-skinned woman.
Or a woman in general.
Well, a mask.
A mask.
So what are you looking for?
I could use my dagger and cut off the faces of one of the sleepers.
Oh my god!
You're pretty good at cutting.
Damn. Pretty adept.
Do I? I thought I had a cloak, so I guess I don't.
Same.
What are you looking for? Like, what would be ideal for you?
Just like another.
Do we see
another,
anything like
uniform.
lying around? Maybe a quick peek in the tent
But
that
yeah, you
might
put a
help
ton
her.
of people to sleep. You could just take someone else's.
I think we only put the 2. Well, it might have affected the people in the tent. We don't know.
Yeah.
Can we see if it affected the people in the tent?
Can we peek
Um,
inside?
Monitor, make an Arcana check.
Arcana check.
Yeah.
17.
So you kind of have a good feel for your magic at this point and the potency of when you casted it. It seemed that the sleep spell that you cast pretty much was just strong enough to knock out for sure the 2 guards by the fire.
Okay.
You're unaware of if any effect was done on the
So-
people in the tents.
I think I'll be okay. I'll just cast gaseous form if I have to.
Yeah, or you can get away pretty quick like that. And these guys are trainees, or at the very least basic soldiers. They're probably not going to know how to
Idiots.
fight a cloud or
Alright.
how to track
They
it.
won't see the cloud either.
So for getting to the front gate of this keep, then do we want to walk around the perimeter or?
I
go
think.
straight through?
Sorry. go
Let's
ahead.
walk around the perimeter. Just
Sure.
to avoid any potential,
Crimes.
problems.
Hey, Monitor, I'm gonna softly tie some easily escapable rope around your wrists, if that's okay.
And then if
Okay.
anybody asks why we went around the perimeter instead of straight through, we could say we just didn't want to wake anybody. Because, you
Yeah.
know, they need their rest and the perimeter wasn't much farther from the center of the camp.
Yes.
Fair
Well,
enough.
the
And
worst
and we
thing
could
is
say
horrible.
the prisoner was being rambunctious.
Disagreeable.
Alright.
Okay, so
And
you
then change into a doggo now.
Okay, so you polymorph into a dog, just kind of this mangled mutt similar to the ones that they were patrolling with. You tie loose rope around Monitor's hands, and
Should I do like a I don't know, any kind of check for like looking like he can.
Make a sleight of hand check to present the appearance of an intense knot.
Ooh, that's not good. 9 or what is that, a 6? Yeah, that looks like a 6. Yeah, 9.
So you pretty much tied like a square knot around him,
Meaning,
like the generic like cross and twist.
So it's secure.
It's secure and around him,
You couldn't
but
have like advantage from assistance from like Nick.
if someone takes like a close look at it, they'll
Oh
see
yeah.
yeah,
Because Akidros would have been helping
Yeah, I
him
worked
knot him up.
on boats.
yeah.
My
So
whole childhood, so I can.
so you can fix it up
Yeah.
easily enough for you. It's not even a challenge. It's just your living. So he produces an easy to escape but quite complex looking knot. And in front of Monitor's hands, so that if needed be, he can quickly wield his dulcimer. In front of his body, I mean. And so now you've got the road 100 feet to your northwest leading into the fort, a campfire 100 feet towards the fort, campfire 100 feet towards the northwest or northeast.
I think we should approach by the main road.
Woof.
Yeah.
She's got it.
Yeah.
All right, off we go.
Going by the main road?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So, you set out onto the main road. The patrolmen don't seem to prioritize the road itself during their kind of star formation, but eventually you get closer and closer and you're able to see more of the keep itself. The two-floor stone building, completely flat roof, and you don't see anybody walking around up top. Wooden walls with archer towers at each of the four corners, and you can see archers in the towers themselves, and like a handful, like 2 or 3 that walk continuously the borders of the walls on top. As you approach closer and closer, you can see tied up, hitched on the outside of the fort is the like horses of various transports that arrived here. What did you do with your horses, by the way?
Tied them up to a tree by the bridge
Okay. So
they wouldn't run away.
yeah.
Reg, and Pancake to wait.
Yeah.
And
Leave
whatever.
food.
Yeah,
Whatever
Monitor, what'd you
monitors.
name your pony?
Dog.
Huh?
What'd you name your pony?
Oh. Timmy.
Timmy.
Okay.
Timmy, Greg,
we
Greg,
feed-
and Pancake.
Did we feed
Yeah.
them or like leave them to?
Three.
We probably left them
grapes
the
and
horse
Timmy.
food. We wouldn't
Yeah.
need it.
Unless you're in some
Yes,
sort
we
of
did.
survival situation, I'm not going to care about food.
Cool.
As you approach, you see the main gate, this wooden, kind of like log-built gate. It has kind of bands of iron to keep it sturdy and structurally sound during any sort of like breaching attempt. There's the like leftmost archer tower. You can see he kind of like looks closer, puts his like hand above his eyes to block the torchlight from blinding him as he looks and like, "Oi! Approaching the gate!" And then you can see 2 of the soldiers who are patrolling the border of patrolling the top of the walls convene above the gate as you all approach. "What brings you here?"
Hey, we caught this one sneaking around the camp.
And I do
Right.
Timmy to make it seem like struggling.
Make a performance check.
You accidentally untie the knot.
You have advantage.
23.
Hell yeah.
All right. And what do you want the keep to do with him?
Keeping him inside so he doesn't keep taking my stuff.
And you want my ass to get chewed out by Erwer when I knock on his door?
Yeah?
Make a persuasion check.
21. Thank God I took that that proficiency.
Yeah. Who's your captain?
Karatis.
Make a deception check.
Because he doesn't know. It's 5,000 people.
Yeah, it's like
23.
23. Alright, well, I'll be talking to your Captain Karatis about getting me some ale for tomorrow night.
He's a hard one.
Alright, open the gates! And the one guard who's accompanying him continues kind of patrolling the gates. He kind of sets up by one of the walls off to the side, and he just has like an arrow ready to go but not strung. The large wooden / banded iron gate slowly, very slightly, just wide enough for you to come on in, and you're greeted by that one man you were talking to. Comes down, he puts his bow away on his back, so then he goes, "Where'd you find this one?"
He was just sneaking around the southwest corner.
Southwest corner.
Might have came up the river looking for an easy mark, some of the drunk ones.
Bastard little gnomelings. And spits on your face, Monitor. As you enter in within the walls, you can see kind of the purpose of the fort is to protect the more valuable equipment. The interior of the walls seems to be just like storage container, padlock storage container of like arrows. You can see some of the large ballistae within like massive cages. These aren't meant for deployment here. They're meant for training, perhaps, and to protect from any sort of stealing or destruction. They lock them up within the borders of the walls. There is the single stone building in the keep with a large wooden oak door that is currently locked, and you can see there's a single light coming from one of the windows on the second floor of the keep itself. But the bottom floor has no windows at all, is completely sealed other than the door. You can see some of the kind of like bare wooden stairwells and some like basic ladders leading to the top of the walls. And you can see some of the containers seem to have like food supplies, like basic sort of, if all else fails and this position is getting attacked, it can survive a very weak siege. And so this human man who's talking to you, he's got like a really scruffy, unkept beard. He's very like greasy and sweaty from kind of the torchlight constantly accompanying him. Smells of like light ale on his mouth. He goes, "All right, actually, I feel a little bit better if you're the one to knock on the door and get over."
All right.
So he escorts you all. And he goes, "So who's going to be the lucky one?"
I'll do it.
Get ahead.
All right. It's 3 a.m. right now.
Oh boy, 3 a.m.
And you notice, like, for 3 a.m., it's pretty weird that there's a light on in the second floor. And you...
He's an elf and meditate. He only has...
So you hear pretty much no noise within. And you're like,
Stand at attention when he opens the door.
"Looks like you'll be the one keeping track of this little gnomeling tonight," as the door then... And you see this slender, tall, somewhat pale-skinned, very finely dressed man. He goes, "Yes? What's this?"
Okay, I'm standing at attention, not making eye contact. We caught this one rummaging through the camp supply, sir.
"Why would a gnome be over here?"
I don't know. Might be a despot just looking for some food.
Make a
What's
deception
it
check.
look like to you? I'm gonna like lunge at him a little bit.
You're gonna lunge him? 13?
Yeah.
As Monitor like lunges at him, you get some advantage.
Okay.
I'm gonna slap Monitor up the backside of the head
Okay.
silently.
Fuck.
Also standing at attention, not making
That's
eye
worse.
contact.
It's still 13.
Okay. Okay. And so you tell them, and he's got these beady, dark eyes that just kind of peer deep into you and kind of reads all up and down you, looks at your uniforms, looks at the dog, looks at the gnome as you kind of smack him and reel him back in. And he goes, "And what is it you want me to do with him?"
I'm not familiar with the prisoner protocol here, sir. I was wondering what you thought best to do with him.
Chop off his head.
To the gallows. No.
Over those head!
And that was the end of the Wanderers.
We don't roam around.
Well,
Or anymore.
I believe I should take this one. I'll deal with him. Good work, you all. Continue your patrol.
Wait, what?
Very good, sir. Have a good night.
Alright.
Push him in the door.
He then reaches out, grabs you by warmly by the shoulder, Taco, Monitor. Make a perception check.
Okay.
Is the door closed at this point?
Not yet.
It's closing as we speak.
Spoon him.
He's currently grabbing you and turning around, leading back into the room.
Okay, 10.
10. Okay. Not much to notice. You all on the other side of the door. As he opened it up, it seems like near pitch black in there. Other than kind
it's
of
a
the
torture chamber, isn't it?
other than the flickering of the torches outside, they kind of light up the room, and you can see there's a stairwell leading upstairs to a currently closed door. With you can see light emanating from the underside of the door. This main kind of ground floor seems to be more kind of high value storage space. You see military equipment, other such really fine swords, ornate shields, and other such kind of well adorned trophies, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
As Monitor, you're brought in. He's like, "Back to your posts." And the door silently closes.
And I whisper to them, "Fine, the invitation."
What?
You're breaking up, I can't hear you.
I'll keep them busy.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just gonna whisper to that.
All right.
then-
Make a stealth
I was
check,
gonna say,
Monitor.
You probably heard that. He's right next to you.
With his arm around you.
17.
17. Okay, so you basically communicate this with your eyes, doing your best not to make a peep, as Lord Urwer is just kind of staring on inside, not really paying you any mind as he guides you. The door closes, and you three are outside of the door, as the other man has went back to his post on the wall. You're now in the center courtyard, relatively unmonitored, besides the people who are patrolling the wall.
I'm
I
going
think we should make
to.
our way upstairs.
Yeah.
Via one of the ladders to the second floor.
Yeah, I'm
Is
gonna,
there an exterior? Is there a way to get up to the second floor from the outside, like a ladder leading up to a balcony or a fire escape?
So the walls, there's large kind of pointed logs, and behind the logs are a walking platform that archers can peer over the points of the logs and shoot. The stone keep is not in the center of the wall structure. It's offset and closer to one wall than the others.
Okay.
And so on the balcony of some of the walls, you'd be close to the second floor. Whether or not there is a window there, you do not know. There are second floor windows that are definitely raised above flat ground, not near the balconies. There might not be,
It's right there.
for just general privacy reasons, there might not be windows on the second floor facing directly the guard wall that there's people frequently walking around.
Is it possible to get to the roof from the top of the outer wall?
It would be from the balcony outer wall. You would have about a 8 to 10 foot height difference to try and grab the ledge of the
Oh,
building.
so we'd be jumping up to meet the roof.
Correct.
Okay.
We could jump that. If we're 6 feet tall, we jump 2 feet.
Okay.
You could
just
also
have to make some
piggyback
athletics
off
check.
of people.
True.
It sounds like our best option.
Yeah, I'm
You're
down
still
for
a
that.
dog,
Bark,
right?
bark.
You wanted to bark.
So are we going up to the balcony then, where people are patrolling?
I think so.
All right.
Can we? How dark is it? Like, where there isn't someone patrolling with a torch?
So there are the guards holding their torches themselves. There are on the exterior of the archer towers like bright sconces, giving the firers or the archers a firing visibility. On the interior of the keep, it's very dark. On the interior of the walls.
Should we search around the base first to see if there's a way up, and then see if try and risk it going up the wall?
Yeah, we could pretend like we're just patrolling the inner circle and just kind of get a 360 view of the keep.
Okay.
All right, let's do that.
Okay. Are you gonna stealth or just pretend to patrol?
We could probably stealth in the dark. And then if we get found, we can...
A patrol would be a performance check, a stealth would be a stealth check.
Okay.
I'm fine either way.
I would prefer to. Well, we could stealth it, and then if it doesn't go well, we just kind of revert to like we're patrolling.
Yeah.
We're going
So I should
outside.
stay as a dog.
We're going outside the keep for this, right?
No, so
We're
there's
the walls
main
and the
wall,
stone
right?
keep.
Yeah.
So you're currently outside of the stone keep. That's where Lord Urwer just took Monitor.
So we're just taking
Okay.
a perimeter of the house, basically, that we just walked up, or knocked on.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, that's fine. Let's do it.
So you are you stealthing?
Stealthing.
Stealthing. Okay.
Roll
How
stealth.
stealth
Yeah.
is a dog?
Roll stealth.
23.
13.
I gotta look up dog stats.
What was the roll?
5.
Well, it's still a group success.
But I'm guessing it's a mastiff or a wild dog.
Probably wild dog.
Wild dog. Okay.
Okay.
So it was a success. So you're
Oh, it is a success.
yeah. So you're silently creeping around. It's a very basic building. The rectangular in shape, 2 stories tall. You wander around the 3 quarters that are like exposed to the majority of the inner walls. You're just kind of seeing the various cages of storage equipment and other such stuff. You kind of sneak underneath the balcony as one of the walking guards passes directly over you, and you hear the like soft creaking of the floorboards. And then you head to the back of the stone keep that's closest to the wall. It's pretty much directly just the keep, and then the balcony itself almost touches the keep. And down here you can see there's like a few like chicken coops that you maneuver around, some other kind of food storage. There's a spear rack. No windows down here. But what you've gathered is there's windows on every face of the keep other than the face right next to the wall on the 2nd floor.
Okay. But there's no way up to the 2nd floor from the ground level.
Just via the balcony.
Okay. Up the balcony then.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a
I could easily be lifted up there.
there's a
You're gonna
like
jump up there as a dog.
there's a stairwell that from the main gate you can walk up and enter the balcony, and then that's on the facing the main gate. That's on the left archer tower, and then on the other corners of the walls there are basic like wooden ladders. And so you would always be ascending at the base of an archer tower.
If I can sneak, I can't really tell this to anybody. Kind of like screwing myself over as a dog now.
How many?
But
how
I
many
have,
spell slots do you have?
I was gonna say I have gaseous form, so and I have beast shape one more time. So if I can get in there, I can turn Monitor into a cloud of gas and then transform into like a swarm of bugs.
Or you could turn into gas, pop through a window or under the
I can
door,
do
and
that
then
too.
open the door for us.
Yeah, that'd be
Well, you guys are thinking about that. Monitor. So
Oh,
you're in this
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
you're in this bottom
He pulls out
floor.
a tray of different shaped knives.
You're in this bottom floor as you see all of
Mr.
this
Gray will see
equipment strewn about. They're like, it's just like fine golden shields, like swords hanging from the walls, paintings on this bottom floor. Seems to be kind of like a hoarder of like fine things.
So he's the warden, or
He's the lord of the fort. He seems to be he has like a military position to train these men and look after that. As you notice him walking around and walking up the steps, he makes practically zero sound. He's just constantly very quiet as he ascends the steps with you, his arm like firmly against your shoulder, guiding you upwards. He doesn't even like look at you. He just continues to look dead ahead. As he ascends the staircase with you, he pulls out this large key ring on his, like, tucked inside of his shirt on a necklace, and like very perfectly, like flip, goes through like 8 keys and perfectly grabs the one he wants, opens up this door to the second floor, and as it swings open, you see a very warm, very inviting bedroom. However, all of the lights are off.
Oh, he's gonna set
Baby, it's on.
Let's I've been feeling right,
Okay.
so watching good movies lately.
Well, I'll continue describing the room, and then you see a like perfectly made bed that is like exquisitely made. There's plenty of dressers and desks lining the walls. Some of the desks have extensive plans and kind of sheets drawn up and notes taken. There are like windows. Thinking about this here. So there's a window. You ascend the stairs. To your immediately like wrap around left, there's a window. On the left wall, there's a window. And then further down the depths of the rectangular building, the bedroom ends, and there's one single banded iron wooden door that is currently closed, leading to another room past here. And you notice that when you approached here, there was a light that was lit on the second floor, and it is not in this bedroom. And he slowly guides you very quietly through this living room towards that second door, and he once again brings out his key ring, perfectly flips to the key he wants, and then unlocks this lock, then takes another key, and there's a second lock, and then a third lock, and then this door opens, and you see this from this like living quarters / bedroom. You see a like very dark, barely lit by torches room. There is a center table, stone like / metal table, with a small table covered in various cutting utensils.
I knew it!
You
You can see
He's gonna die!
with at the other side of the room,
Just gonna get
bolted
sexually
into the
assaulted.
stone walls, you can see shackles leading, like chains leading down to shackles, leading down to the, there's one decaying body and one just pure skeleton.
With all of the pieces of flesh on the side.
And then he looks down to you as he closes the door behind you and smiles, and you can see 2 extremely long canine teeth.
He's a werewolf!
No.
He's a vampire!
And you make sense of the extremely pale skin, and his hand caresses your cheek, and it is stone cold.
Oh, he loves
He loves your blood.
you. He
And-
loves you.
Is this a good place to stop?
I don't.
I guess so.
Think like 20
How-
more minutes.
20 more minutes?
We could do 20 more minutes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm done for more.
And so you can see on the far side of the room, by the shackled bodies, there was a window that you now realize that was the window that you were seeing in and saw the light. It has now been closed shut with some wooden kind of locking blind.
Did we
And
notice that?
those on the outside, you hear a
Shit, guys, that's where he's at. Oh wait, woof 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 woof.
You can make an insight.
I'm hungry too.
You can make an insight check.
Said we noticed it though.
You hear a creaking from the top
Not
floor.
too bad though. Hold on.
Can I make an
So I
insight check
still
as
keep
well?
my intelligence.
Yeah, you can get advantage.
22.
22, that's fine.
If I get
So,
advantage,
yeah.
it'll be a 23. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
so
the only better thing I can do.
there is definitely activity on that side of the building. You then notice that what was casting like a light shadow into the center walls of the light from inside the stone is now gone.
So I notice that he's probably in trouble.
You notice
gonna-
that window has been
I'm
closed.
gonna gaseous form. I'm gonna change back into Sahelia for like a split second in gaseous form and go underneath the door and unlock it.
Okay. Are you informing your friends real quick?
I'm just gonna do it.
You're just
'cause
gonna do
I
it?
have a feeling he's in trouble because the only light in the entire building was just turned off.
Okay.
I'm like,
Do
well,
we see
this-
you turn back and turn into gas?
You probably see the dog disappear. And then... Well, I turn back
Can you
into
just, like-
myself and then cast the spell.
Okay. When you turn back to yourself, can you take like 2 seconds? You're like, gas target, or monitoring in trouble.
Wait, no one saw it? Okay, I'll explain what's happening.
Alright.
I thought you guys saw it, but yeah, I forgot that I'm the one that rolled the...
Monitor's gonna hate us when he gets out of this.
So I'm gonna transform
Sorry,
into
buddy.
myself, then
I
do
got shafted.
I'm gonna transform into gaseous form, which uses up one of my spell slots for like level 3.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go underneath the door, change back into myself, and unlock it.
Okay.
We're running towards the door to get
Okay.
inside the building.
So you're running towards the door. Are you going to be stealthy at all?
Yeah, we
Yes.
should probably.
As quickly and quietly as we
'Cause
can.
we don't
Okay.
know
One more
what
stealth
kind
check
of-
for me too.
What kind of... Wait, I'm...
Gaseous form is fine.
No, but I had to turn back into myself to unlock the door. I can't just...
Okay, so you're gonna stealth
can't
when you're
do
inside.
anything. I have to... I wasted a spell slot pretty much. 19.
It's 15 for me.
Oh no, 18.
25.
Okay, easily enough. So you guys quickly, quietly keep hugging to the walls, heading towards that front door. As Sahelia mists into the seam of the door, raises up. All of the mist condenses back into your form, and you quickly unlatch the door from the inside, and very ever so silently prevent it from creaking, and open it up just enough for them to slip in. Monitor, you're in this room.
Alone with this strange man.
Door is closed. Window is closed. He's bared his teeth towards you.
Oh my god.
And he starts leading you towards the table, very firmly holding your shoulder.
Don't forget you have...
And I'm still tied. My hands are tied.
Yeah, but
Well,
you
There-
can.
It's a fake knot.
knot.
Okay. And the knives are in front of me.
There's a small side table to this main kind of surgery table that seems to be there's caked dried blood on top of this table itself.
He still has all his
And-
equipment,
I was
though,
just about
right?
to say, he has all of his shit, and there was nothing taken off of him.
Mm-hmm. So
Okay.
That makes sense why he's awake at night.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's 3 a.m. and he's
This
awake.
explains so
So-
much.
You can see on the side table there is just tons and tons of just cutting, cutlery and surgery tools caked in old rusty blood. As he then grabs you by both. What?
Table. Are they just lined up?
They're lying on the side table next to the operating table. As he
Okay.
then grabs you by both shoulders to lift you up onto the table.
I'm going to kind of try to kick all the knives off the side table and use that as a distraction.
So make an athletics check as he grabs you by both shoulders.
Okay. 15.
15. We're gonna.
Oh my god, do you have a vampire chamber?
I don't believe I do. I haven't.
It's just the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack.
Dread Fantasy Battle. I hope this works. Rumble, heartbeat, deep.
Well, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I feel spooky AF.
Get rid of the screaming though.
Rumble, agony.
Was there screaming?
Yeah, I'll send you the link.
That deep scream feels ominous and goes.
Yeah, the deep scream is good. Okay, so you struggle and try to kick towards the operating table as he firmly grasps onto your shoulders and with surprising amount of strength for how frail of a person he is, lifts you up and brings you towards the table. Make one more athletics check as he reaches for shackles on the sides of the table.
10.
Shit. You are shackled the fuck to that table. Your arms and your legs as you're sprawled out in just like a completely flayed position, and he begins reaching for his instrument table. Everybody else,
God damn it.
you are in the.
I think we just have to get upstairs.
Yeah.
Do we hear anything? Like at this point, what do we hear? Do we hear struggling?
Make a perception check.
Is gaseous
They
form?
probably heard the
I'm not
knives,
gaseous
right?
form anymore.
I might have.
Can you?
Did you see that?
I did. Natural 20.
What was it? Perception 23.
You hear like a scuffling and like a quick yelp by Monitor, and then
Guys, I
like
just heard Monitor. Guys, he's being locked up.
You gonna get up there?
So you raise up the stairs. That top door is locked.
We might as well.
So not
From the inside.
So not the door the
From the
monitor
outside.
just went in. The top door to get
Wait,
to the second
okay,
floor.
hold on.
Correct.
Well, what's the door made out of?
It's just an iron or a wooden door.
Wooden? Okay, well,
Can you pick a lock?
No, but I can try to use a key point.
That's
yeah,
that's
kick
not
the
what
door
a key
open.
is. It's not that kind of key.
No, I'm saying like
Funny.
I might be able to kick
He's
the door
making
in.
a joke.
An iron door? Well, okay.
A wooden door.
It's a wooden door, so he could kick it down,
Yeah.
basically.
Does the door have hit points?
You can
Yeah.
you can break it down. It's a wooden door.
Alright.
Flaming sphere, level 2.
So you all have one action right now. We're going to
Okay,
keep track of the ordering of events here.
have one
Is
action.
there a visible lock, like a tumbler, like on that
Okay.
door? How you can
I'm
see
going
the
to
bolt?
Yeah, there is a locking mechanism, like a defined locking mechanism.
All right, I'm gonna.
Well, are we gonna be able to have
You
time?
go try your knockdown door thingy.
I'm just
Alright.
gonna hold on. Yes. Go
I'm gonna
ahead
use
and try.
unarmed strike. I'm gonna try kicking in the door.
Okay. You don't have to roll to hit. You will hit it.
Oh, that's
Just roll your damage.
If you miss a stationary door, I would. You're immediately booted from the team.
4.
4. Okay. You just and it's still holding strong. It's a pretty beefy wooden door, but follow-up strikes might begin to damage it.
I'm gonna.
Okay, I have an extra hit.
Okay.
I'm in attack mode right now.
Yeah. Doing it again.
Yep. 1 more. 6.
6. Okay. This one again, and it's a little bit more satisfying of a crunch.
Okay.
Further hits would begin to knock down the door.
I'm gonna use a key point and another strike.
Beat the fuck down. Okay.
Jesus.
How many key points? Do you
6.
6. And you're like one of the planks flaps open. You're able to see inside the room, but the door is barely standing at this point.
Okay, I'm
You
gonna reach
reach
my
it.
hand in and see if there is any way to just unlock it from the inside.
Okay, make an athletics check just to reach as hard as you can.
11.
11. Okay. Easily enough. You're able to then find purchase on the locking mechanism. You take 1 piercing damage as the splinters. You're just forcing against the splinters and gritting your teeth as you then are able to undo the lock and the door swings open. So that was your turn. The door into the living area is open. You all see what I described as the living area, and then the door leading to the next room is locked closed.
What kind of door is it?
It is banded iron around wood.
what did you say?
Visible. How do the hinges look?
Like iron hinges.
Like any rust or any weak point visible? Like
Make an
quickly-
investigation check. Taco, for the
Fine,
record.
Natural 1. I don't see shit. It's a fucking solid door.
For the record, Taco, you can cast any spells that don't require S in their materials.
Okay.
So we'll get to you in this action flow here.
Okay, I'm going to
Um,
transform
Well, Merrick first investigated the hinges. Looking around, this room is impeccably kept, and you aren't able to see any such weakness on the metal of the door. What action will you take?
Okay, so I can't remember if... I think my Thirsting Blade is just 2 attacks with my actual sword. So I'm going to see if I can... Like, I'm going to put my hand on one of the hinges and give it an Eldritch Blast and see if I can break one of the hinges off.
So you're running up to the door?
Yeah.
Okay. As you run up to the floorboard of the door, right at its foot, and then you hear a
Gas.
make a Constitution save, all 3 of you.
Damn it,
Don't
I'm
we all
sorry.
have an action though?
Yeah, your action will come.
Okay, Constitution. Saving throw. 13.
8.
Jesus. 3. You're a 6.
6. Okay. All of you, take 2 poison damage, and the poison begins to fill the room. You become more and more potent as time goes on. So, Halia, what are you doing?
Transforming as my bonus action into a brown bear.
Okay. Oh, and Merrick, you would approach the door, and what are you doing to the door again?
So I'm just going to put my
Wait, so
hand
you
on
have-
one of the hinges and Eldritch Blast it. Or
Okay.
try and Eldritch Blast it off.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. 6.
So, as you bring your hand to the door, you notice the closer you get to this thing that you're running towards, and something that you didn't notice during the distraction of how intense the situation was when you first met Lord Urwer, your palm is like furious. You can feel the rage of Despater right now. He is coursing through to you in incredible anger about this situation and a frustration not towards you, but towards the presence of this being.
He really doesn't like undead.
He doesn't like whatever this thing is.
Yeah,
And
that was
so-
me metagaming, sorry.
No, but true. You can infer from that his energy right now is of one of complete hostility, not towards you.
Do I get any
As you gain
benefits for that?
advantage, and he gives you an additional pulse of magical power.
Ooh. Okay, so what do I...
So roll another Arcana check.
Okay. Much better. 23.
So as you're like, you struggle with it, and then you feel this adrenaline, just your heart beats at the same time. You're just immensely drenched in sweat, just as this huge rocket of dark energy pulses into it, the hinge breaks off from the walls. It is still half secured to the wall itself.
Okay.
And that is your action, and now the bear.
So, no, I'm not going to transform into a bear, actually.
Oh, okay.
So my action... So I can see through the door to the guy?
No, the door hinge, the bottom hinge of 2 hinges of the main door.
Blank broke off, though.
We're at the second door now. So
Yeah.
that was the first
So we
door.
can't see the guy.
Correct. So you're in the living quarters. Merrick just blew off the hinge of the iron band wooden door leading to the second room.
Okay. That was not what I wanted then. How does it look?
The door itself looks rather sturdy. There's one functional hinge still.
Oh, okay, so I have this cantrip that allows me to... Okay, so I create a long vine-like whip covered in thorns that lashes at my command towards a creature in range. Make a melee spell attack against the target. If it hits, the creature takes piercing damage. And if the creature is large or smaller, I can pull the creature up to 10 feet closer to me. So, if I try to wrap it around the door, could I pull the door towards me? Like, without causing the damage, obviously, because it's...
The door hasn't kind of...
But does it have, like, a handle or something it could wrap around and pull?
It seems it's a push door. He unlocked it and pushed it inwards. So there's no handle for you to wrap around, and the hinge just popped off. The door is still pretty flush with the wall itself.
So,
How many hinges are
try
there?
to...
There's one other iron hinge.
I got one broken. If you can get
Yeah,
the
I'll
other
try to
one.
just thorn whip and break the other hinge.
Make an intelligence check.
That's smart, but that was pretty good. 15.
Piercing damage would probably be more effective against the wood than the iron.
But there's no wood.
There's wood that is like iron slabs are bolted to the wood to give it extra structural
I'll hit the
rigidity.
wood.
Okay. So roll an Arcana check. 4. You just scrape against the wood, causing streaks that like drill through it. It is still pretty structurally sound, other than the hinge breaking right now. So then, Monitor, you are on this table, your arms and legs shackled. You look up and you can see just the ceiling, and Lord Urwer is currently busying himself looking at the instruments beside him. What are you going to do?
I don't have a lot of spells, but I'll try persuading him.
Okay, what are you going to say?
I'd say, well, I don't know if you want a poor peasant look like me. That's what you're thinking.
You don't repeat that. You don't know if he wants a poor peasant like you.
I can lead you to more precious resources.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
God damn it.
You're not in a place of power right now.
Got a 26.
At disadvantage,
Oh wait, what's disadvantage do?
you roll twice and choose the lower number.
You don't know that
Okay.
yet?
I'm sorry. Oh, never mind. Alright, so 12.
12.
Wow, that was really
He goes,
disadvantage.
that is a shame. You won't have too much blood in you, such small weakling. As he then lowers his head towards your neck as you see these massive fangs. And
Alright,
they...
I'm
Is he not hearing the noise at the door?
Can I try vicious mockery now?
Your persuasion was your action.
Does he not hear the door?
He hears the banging and he's ignoring it. Monitor, you are hearing this like intense banging outside, and you hear an immense like explosive arcane just against one of the hinges of the door. But the vampire seems too busy with you. As his fangs plunge into your neck, you feel this immense piercing pain.
Oh,
Shit.
now I have to deal with Monitor being a vampire.
You take 5.
Oh shit, you're right.
You take 5 piercing damage, and then you feel all of a sudden your neck begin to shrivel, and the life force within you start pouring out of those
This is
neck
the
piercings.
end.
You take an additional 7 necrotic damage,
Oh my God.
that in addition reduces your max HP by 7.
Good lord.
Permanently?
What did we
You
do?
don't all right.
Back to us.
He then satisfyingly gulps down the blood as he then takes one of his instruments and begins cutting into your thigh.
Fuck. How many actions does this dude have?
Yeah, Drew.
He's multi-attack.
Yell.
All right, you guys hear Monitor screaming.
You said
just-
a little yelp, Drew.
At this point, he has no control over that. He is just screaming bloody murder.
That'd be a Constitution saving.
Don't DM the DM.
You
I
take
know.
another 9 slashing damage as the scalpel begins streaking across your thigh.
Wait, I'm so close to death.
You're so close to what?
Death.
Oh.
I'm at 14 now.
All right,
On
so
a scale of 1 to 40.
top of the round, Akithros.
Okay, does the hinge have screws in it?
Like, there's large, heavy bolts that go into the stone of the wall.
I'm trying to think what I have in my cartographer's tools. That might take too long though.
You can hold your action, and I can see if I can bust off the hinge.
True.
Then you could charge in.
True.
Yeah, I would prefer to do that.
So you can't hold your movement, you can only hold an action. You can hold a dash.
What does that mean?
So you can move up to the door, and then your action that you're holding to trigger when somebody breaks down the door, your action would be a dash into the room.
Can I hold an action?
Yeah, you can only hold an action, and if you wanted to move into the room with that action, you'd have to hold a dash as your action.
I don't want to move into the room with that action.
Okay, so what action would you like to hold?
Casting Pass Without a Trace. It would... Hold on, let me read the spell and make sure that this is going to work like I want it to work. A veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection for the duration. Each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including you, has a +10 bonus to dexterity checks and can't be tracked except by magical means. A creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of its passage.
Well, it's dexterity parentheses stealth, right?
Yeah.
So it makes you more stealthy. However, in areas of no cover to hide behind, stealth is out the window.
I'm not looking for stealth. I'm looking for all of us to be completely invisible during this battle.
That won't, like, that would require stealthing. Like, when there's nothing to hide behind, you can't hide. And so that's more useful for when you're stealthing up to enemies and stuff.
Okay, one sec. Okay, never mind.
So what action are you going to hold?
The action that I'm going to hold is a dash then.
Okay. Alright, so then Merrick.
I'm gonna try an Eldritch Blast. How many hinges are there?
Just one more hinge.
Okay, yeah.
So Arcana check?
Okay. Do I still get advantage?
No.
Alright.
He doesn't care about you anymore.
14.
This one, it's severely damaged but not destroyed.
Dang it.
No, Sahelia.
Do I dash into the closed door?
No, it's for when
No.
the door comes down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't do anything to this door.
Do you have a weapon?
A
The
dagger.
door, Sahelia, if given a sufficient force, is pretty weak at this point.
Yes, but I have a thing that I want to do immediately when I enter the room.
Okay.
So if I try to run at the door, would that count as an action, or would that count as my...
You can run up to
movement?
the door. If you wanted to tackle the door, that would be an action.
I'm not strong. I don't have, like...
Just remember, if you tackle the door below the waist, it's a penalty.
Don't lead with your head either. That's also a flag. If you tackle below the waist, it's a penalty.
If you're sacking the quarterback, I think.
That's fucking gay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll cast...
Tackle at dick level.
Can I tell, like, if the person's on the opposite side of the door?
You can make
Like
a.
if you knocked it over, would it hit him?
No, if I, like, attacked something that goes in a line, if it would penetrate him as well.
You can make a perception check. This would be pretty difficult.
She got it.
Yeah, definitely 5.
5.
Oh,
Yeah.
the DC was 4.
I'll just
so.
use a
You
flaming spear.
you heard monitors screaming directly in the room. You have no idea that is the location of the
I'll
vampire.
cast flaming spear and attempt to melt it. Fire damage.
Going to the hinge.
Yeah, the door needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
It fails. Make just an Arcana check.
You could burn the
That's
wood.
good.
15.
15. All right. So easily enough, the hinge, like one of the two bolts keeping the hinge in place, was already shattered by Merrick, and this goes into it, melts that other bolt, and then the entire hinge comes apart, and the whole door just slams forward. You now have the doors open, laid down in front of you. You see into this like surgery torture chamber.
He's like
You see,
about to cut monitor, and he like
yeah. You
he
see.
looks up.
Get out of my room!
Guys!
You see the vampire, like, his mouth covered in blood with a scalpel opening up Monitor's leg as he's shackled to this table, And he doesn't seem scared. He seems more inconvenienced by your presence. And he looks at you with disgust. As then, Monitor, what is your action?
Is there anything I can do?
You can Visage Mockery him.
I'll try that. Yeah, I'll try that.
Okay. So he makes a Wisdom saving throw against. What is your DC for that spell?
2d4.
You know your DC.
Oh. Wiz 14.
Okay, so he
Whiz 14.
he fails his save. So how are you going to mock him?
Your skin's too pale.
Your skin's too pale.
Great.
Alright, well, first of all, so hold on to that. So we're going to roll initiative here to close out the night. So Merrick.
Oh, we're not gonna fight him?
No, like,
We are.
the battle will be the closing.
sick.
I was gonna
Okay.
say, I have an attack that I'm planning.
I know, me too. 21.
21, Sahalia 15, Monitor
13.
13, Akithros
16.
16. Okay, so what damage do you deal with your Vicious Mockery?
1d4.
Strong
One.
spell.
1 damage, and then
It's not 1d4 plus something?
no, and then there's one other like side effect to it, right?
Side effect is disadvantage on the next attack roll.
Disadvantage on the next attack roll. Okay,
That's good.
so these words like cross his ears, and he just seems frustrated by your presence, and he cringes in pain as then this blood leaking out of your thigh, he puts his hand over and pulses this red dark energy towards the bleeding wound.
Uh-oh.
And all of your blood begins to boil, and you feel it almost start evaporating away from your leg. You take
that's fucked up.
you take no damage. It's just this searing sensation,
You've got
as then
vampirism.
there is this red dark mist that begins to accumulate above you and takes this sort of blobby form.
Yuck.
And
You gotta
so
hurry up.
Good fucking lord.
we are going to begin the battle.
Oh, there's a torture chamber.
Oh yeah, I made a
I'll
pretty
be right
dope
back.
layout here.
Okay.
To go to the bathroom.
So, next time I do a weapon attack.
Jesus.
So this is Monitor. Didn't anticipate the victim actually
Being one of us.
Yeah. So we're gonna.
Who was the victim originally supposed to be?
Just some person that he was operating on as you guys like entered and snuck in.
Fuck.
Oh, sweet.
So
Well, this went well.
that turned out to be very different.
Sick. TPK.
Oh hell yeah.
And now we have a vampire in our group.
Okay, so you just blasted open the door. Akithros is right next to the doorway. Or no, you were right next to the door as Sahalia just blasted open the door. And then this...
I also just rushed in the room.
Oh yes, you have your action that was saved.
Yeah.
So this mist begins to accumulate, hovering over Monitor's body. You book it into the room. Where would you like to rush next to?
The vampire.
Okay, so you sprint up to him as you feel the presence of this, like, bloody vampiric mist over Monitor. It seems to just seep in the energy around it.
So am I losing energy?
No, you feel this immense dark energy of just sapping life force.
Shit.
And then we will wait for Chloe's return.
Yeah, in the soundscape.
Yeah. So,
Ambient mixer.
rumble. What does that sound like? Oh no. Increase that. Screams by.
That's Monitor.
That is me.
Okay. I'm gonna mute it real quick, Taco, just so I know to edit this.
Okay.
Chloe hath returned.
Hooray.
So, at the top of the round, so Akithros was just able to run in with his held action. Merrick.
Can I make it within melee range of the vampire?
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I had 30 feet.
I should not have walked up right next to Zed.
If I can't, then I'm just gonna get like.
You can.
I can?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna take.
Are you happy with that save?
I'm gonna take 2 sword attacks against him.
Okay.
21 for the first one.
That hits.
Okay. It's, I should have been prepared. Okay.
Akithros, you're next.
So that's 13 for the first attack.
The 21, right?
21
so,
to hit.
That hits 13 damage.
Okay.
Is your... In your Hexblade stuff, did it describe your Hexblade as magical for the purpose of dealing damage?
If it didn't already have a magical property, yes.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. So you can feel, as you grasp Despader's Sword of Despair, this energy pulse into the blade, refining the tip, the metal seeming to continuously twist in anguish in this just furious rage. As it just plunges into him, the hellish magic seems to make the blade extend with just energy, and it cuts deep into this vampire, and you can see his fine clothes rip, and you can see where the cut went into his flesh, but he doesn't bleed. You just see the flesh separate.
It's a vampire.
I'm gonna take another attack.
Okay.
That's higher than 23.
Okay.
10 for the second one. 10 damage.
All right. Once again, slashes into him. Okay. That was that, and then bonus action. Anything?
I don't know if I can do anything with a bonus action. Well, maybe I can do that. Concentration. Yeah, no, I don't think I can.
And keep in mind, Monitor is.
Oh yeah, it is
on
a
the
bonus
table.
action. Okay, so for my bonus action, I'm going to cast Branding Smite, and then that'll give me an extra 3d6 radiant damage on my next sword strike.
Okay. So this intense, bright magical energy imbues into your sword. Akithros. The vampiric mist hovers above Monitor right next to you. Monitor is shackled, and the vampire stands right in front of you.
I would like to make a perception check on anything in the room that could be used as a wooden stake.
Make a intelligence
Bring in
check, or a history check, real quick, to see if you were aware of this information. 10. You don't know if there's any particular weapons for use against vampires.
Yeah. Okay. Then I would like to. I can use a bonus action, right?
I mean, you still have your action and bonus action.
Oh, okay.
It won't cost
okay.
that to you.
Then I am going to roundhouse kick. Use my unarmed attack. Roundhouse kick the back of one of the vampire's knees to try to knock him down.
Do you have something that causes proning? You need. There are certain abilities that can induce a prone.
I don't think I do.
Okay, so you can deal damage to him. You unfortunately can't cause him to go prone.
Okay.
You can grapple him and bring him to the ground, but you'd be involved in the grapple.
Does that mean, like, his turn, he would just be involved in the grapple then?
Yeah, so you'd both be restrained essentially, and he might be able to bite you, but he wouldn't. Neither of you would really be able to use your hands.
Okay. Alright. I'm gonna grapple him and try to shove him to the floor.
Okay, make a athletics check. 10. He succeeds. So his weirdly frail body has an immense strength to him, and he just is able to resist what you're trying to do. Do you want a bonus action or anything?
Bonus action. I'd like to uppercut his chin.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, I don't need to roll for... Am I gonna make contact?
You do need to roll to see if you hit him.
Okay, the roll I had was a...
Say Haley, you're next.
Is that just my proficiency?
This is just it's an unarmed attack. So just a D20.
Actions.
17.
17 hits.
Okay. 5.
5. So as you go and punch into his jaw, his head like whips back with the force of the punch, and his skin depresses and then doesn't really elastically go back as fast as you're used to. And he seems nearly unfazed by this. It doesn't seem to have done nearly as much damage as you anticipated. Okay, so it's your turn, Sahalia.
Okay, but can I occupy the same square as the blonde-haired guy?
You can. It costs double movement to enter his space, but you can't end your turn there.
Like, I want to cast Lightning Bolt, and I want to... It's a 5-foot wide blast, and every creature in the line needs to make a dex saving throw. Is there any way that I can do that without hitting anybody else? Like, can I do a diagonal line?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can go right here,
And then cast it.
diagonally.
Okay. He needs to make a dex saving.
Okay. They both succeed.
Both?
Who's rolling?
Yeah, who's they?
You see the mist
Ah!
coalescing
God damn it.
sentiently.
Sentiently.
Well, they still take damage. And how do you know they both
Gonna be
succeed?
a
What
blob
they
of
get?
mist forever.
They rolled a 20 and a 15, and they add 3 and a 4.
Okay, they still take damage. So it's a 6. Well, this isn't just 6 plus 5 plus 2 is 13, right?
Mhm.
13.
Divide by 2.
Plus, no, not even close. So 13
Yeah, true.
plus, so that's 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 divided by 2.
8d6?
Yes.
Dang. So 28 divided by 2 is 14.
Damage each.
So,
And anything that's ignitable ignites in
Okay.
flames.
there's not really anything in here.
Well, it's a 100-foot long line, so whatever's behind him too.
100 feet.
Bursts
Yeah.
against the stone wall and kind of fizzles out, leaving a blast mark there. However, it is able to melt the shackles on Monitor's left leg.
Ooh.
Hooray!
And you see as it's what type of energy is it?
Lightning damage.
Lightning. The lightning fizzles through and almost completely passes through the vampiric mist, and it kind of coalesces around it. It doesn't seem to be extremely affected by this lightning. And then it slams into the vampire, and he takes some intense damage from it, as you anticipated. Okay, that was your turn. Now, Monitor, you are up. You have one leg free. There's a mist above
I'm
you.
gonna bonus action into a brown bear.
Okay, so you become a brown bear. And then Monitor.
Actually,
So as I
Wrong,
go back.
baby.
Okay, alright, you're a bear.
Drew, you didn't even describe my transform. It's not cool, man.
Okay. Monitor, you're on the table.
Can I do an insight on what's around my leg that's now free?
Yeah. I mean, you saw the table as you approached. There's nothing really on the table. It's pretty flat besides like blood stains.
Okay.
So not
Is the
much.
leg that's free, is it the one that's cut up?
Is it what?
Is that the one that's cut up, the leg that's free?
Yes.
Nice.
Okay. So I don't have much control of that leg.
You can in the adrenaline panic, you're able to maneuver it how you need.
Okay. Well, I'll still use Vicious Mockery.
Okay. How are you going to mock him?
Be like, that sticky hole looks really dumb and it looks like you're compensating.
He just doesn't seem to pay you any mind right now. He has far more on his mind than your mean words, and he succeeded his save and doesn't take any damage.
Damn it.
Anything else you want to do? You can inspire people. You can. I don't know if you can.
Oh yeah.
Does it say
Well,
that you need
actually-
your weapon for inspiration, or your
I
dulcimer?
think I need a weapon for inspiration.
Yeah, most likely. Double check on that while I'm doing their moves.
Okay.
So Akithros,
Yes.
you see this dark mist that's pouring out of Monitor's leg begin hovering over into you, and you can't help but breathe some of it in as you feel his blood coalesce inside of your lungs and start just sucking in life force from within you. Make a Constitution save.
Jesus. Six.
So as it begins pulsing and pulsing, you feel yourself getting weaker and thinner and more meager as you take 6 necrotic damage, and you reduce your hit point maximum by that amount as well.
Oh no.
Okay, that was that, and then the vampire looks over to you, Merrick, and he's going to take his scalpel and go for a quick slash at your throat. That was an 11 to hit, so that misses, right?
Yes, but oh man, never mind. Keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, that misses.
And then he goes again for another quick uppercut with his scalpel, and that one was a 13 to hit.
Oh man, he sucks. That misses too.
Okay. So in a panic, he's swiping at you, unable to make contact. He is then, without leaving the space he's occupying, leaps up like an astounding 10-ish feet, flipping his legs and planting into the ceiling, hanging upside down.
Do we get an attack of opportunity?
He's
on him?
still in that space. He's still within melee range of you. He's just reverted to the ceiling.
Okay.
Ceiling.
And so that was
How high is the ceiling?
like 10 foot tall.
So like if we swung a sword or threw
Still-
a punch, we could get him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Merrick, it is your turn.
All right. I'm gonna take 2 more attacks with my sword against him.
Okay. And you have that radiant energy now?
Yeah. So 23 to hit.
One last thing.
Sorry.
He, as he made this jump, more and more energy pulses out of the holes within Monitor's neck. As you see this blood red energy go towards him and coalesce around the slash marks of your attacks as he begins to heal slightly. Okay, and now what did you get on your sword strike?
23 to hit.
23 hits.
And then So, ooh, nice. 10 plus. That's 19 points of damage.
What types?
So 10 slashing and then 9 radiant.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Blah blah blah
Yes,
blah.
mother.
Yes, man.
Don't run from me, sir.
1 second. Okay. So the slash cuts through with the sharpness of this hellish energy, and then the radiant energy that joins with your slash cuts far deep, and you see his flesh start burning away just in pure agony, in particular response to his radiant pulse.
Okay. And then, yeah, I'm gonna take another attack with my sword.
Okay.
Without the that doesn't count. So that's 13 to hit.
13 does not hit.
Ah, damn it. All right, and then with my bonus action, I'm gonna cast another branding smite in
Okay.
preparation for my next attack.
Okay. And now Akithros, and then Sahelia.
Okay. I am going to.
I'm a bear.
He's still upside down, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna lunge at him, and I'd like to grab onto the sides of his neck and like hang from him.
Okay, so that'd be a grapple. So make an athletics check.
Jesus. 15.
15. Okay. You succeed. So you clamber onto him, try and pin some of his arms closed, and so now you're in this like weird like like making out with him, Spider-Man kissing, as you hold onto his shoulders, and he's unable to kind of manipulate his arms properly. I would argue he still would have a biting chance against you.
My goal was to like grab onto like the sides of his neck and like
Just holding onto his.
holding onto his neck and lifting my feet off the ground and like
Trying to rip it down.
yeah, like hang from him almost like that.
Are you trying to bring him down from the ceiling? Or are you trying to restrain
I'm
him?
trying to expose his neck.
Okay, so his, so I'd say he's, restrained. Well, I'd say attacks against him have advantage,
Okay.
but he still has use of his hands.
Okay. And I would like to scream, Sahelia, go for the neck.
Okay.
Yes.
So the vampire is hanging from the ceiling. Merrick or Akithros is holding his head, exposing his neck, and you have advantage on an attack. What are you gonna do?
My turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get to
Then Monitor, you'll be next.
So I'm going to. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to bite his neck.
Oh.
What?
Yeah. Ironic.
I'm a bear.
Yeah,
that's-
it's ironic. It's funny.
Yeah, but
Gotcha.
I forgot you.
Gotcha.
This was my semi-master plan.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. 18 plus 5, so 23.
That hits, and I say you can add another D4 of damage.
Damn.
Why is that?
Jesus Christ.
Just 'cause
it's-
she's
oh,
going
he
for the-
loves that
this neck.
blanket. Jack, he's getting excited because he loves that blanket.
Alright, here you can have it.
So roll your damage plus a
Yes.
D4.
Gotcha. I'm trying to. Hey Jack, can you roll me a D8?
Sammy.
3.
Okay, so that's 11.
11 damage. Okay. So this massive bear
Piercing
lunges.
damage,
Piercing damage.
because it's a bite.
So this massive bear lunges at him, and your teeth sink into him and do some damage. It's not nearly as much damage as you anticipated.
But I also get another attack.
Yes, you
I
do.
have multi-attack.
So you have advantage now.
Wait, did you say? Okay, so I have advantage again. So now I'm gonna do one of my claws. So that's a 20 to hit.
That hits.
And then that's. Can you roll me 2d6, please, Jack?
4 plus 5, so 9.
Okay, 9 plus 4 plus. You said 4.
Plus a D4.
Oh, d4. Oops. Okay,
1.
so 14. Because it's 9 plus I have a plus 4 and then plus 1.
Okay.
So 14.
14. Once again, it deals this damage, but not nearly as much as you expect. Still whittling him down. He's looking pretty rough at this point. His skin, like, burning in some areas from the radiant energy, open in many places. Bonus action, anything?
No.
Okay, Monitor.
Yes.
What'd you do?
I think I can do inspiration with just my voice.
Okay,
I'm gonna do that.
sure. So who are you going to inspire?
I'm gonna inspire Merrick.
Wait, I already have an unused inspiration. Oh,
That expires over an hour.
oh, never mind.
Oh, okay. So should I just really?
So you inspire Merrick, and you gain a D8. How are you going to inspire him?
Merrick, I may not have a leg, and I'm bleeding from the neck. But you just hear gurgles from me, so I'm just gonna gurgle encourage.
Okay. Encouraging Gurgling, the new album from Monitor.
Sounds metal as fuck.
Yeah. As the encouraging gurgling lets out the blood red mist coalesces off of Akithros and heads towards you, Monitor. Make a Constitution save as the mist enters your throat holes and you start breathing him into your lungs.
Monitor's not okay.
Oh shit.
It's looking
5?
bad.
5. You take 9 necrotic damage, which also reduces your hit point maximum by that amount.
Okay. Okay now.
Okay.
And you all see Monitor as the mist enters and leaves, seemingly thicker with more and more blood, taking life out of the victims that it encompasses. Monitor's looking very shriveled, just like skin and bones,
Victoria, you don't
looking
look so
bad.
Good. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
The
I don't feel so good.
the vampire is going to take his scalpel and you saw when he had moved and his wounds were healing up, this radiant damage is still burning and singeing into him. It doesn't seem like he's able to heal right now.
Nice.
He goes and tries to jam the scalpel into your forearm to try to get you to release his neck, making a strength saving throw.
Fuck can't I find any of this? Oh, there's 21.
21. You're able to hold on as you take 2 piercing damage as it just jams into your forearm, but you're still able to just grit your teeth and hold on as strong as you can. He's gonna reel back his scalpel and go for your chest.
Jesus.
And that was a 14 to hit. Does that hit?
What's your AC?
I don't know. Everything just turned off because the Wi-Fi is weird. My AC.
Wasn't it 16 or something?
Oh, it was 15.
15? Okay. So, Copper, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay. So the Wi-Fi's not dead, hopefully. So he
Might
goes to
switch
jab
that.
at you, but you're able to swing out of the way, and he misses. And so that's the end of his turn. All right, Merrick and then Akithros.
Can I hit him with Nick grappled to him?
Yeah. So you have advantage.
All right, I'm gonna take a swing with my sword.
Okay.
Sword.
16.
16 hits.
All right, so that's 1d10. So 4 plus 3d6 for 80 damage, so 2, 7. So 11 plus. No, that's not right. 4 plus 5 plus 1 plus 1. Yeah, 7 plus 4 is 11 plus 5 is
16.
yeah, 16.
All right, so you slash into him, and with this vicious scream, he's barely standing, but as this radiant damage, like, it goes against his, like, grating against his back, and this huge gash just separating and boiling off and singeing his skin. He's looking very rough.
I'm gonna take another sword attack against him.
All right,
23.
that hits. How do you want to do this?
Ooh. So Akithros is still hanging from his
Yeah.
neck. I just want to like cleanly decapitate him with a nice searing swing from Despater's sword
Okay.
to leave Akithros standing with his head in his hands.
Okay.
Upside down.
Well, you're gripping him like this, right?
Yeah, but like his head would be upside down in my hands.
Right. So he's just like looking at you upside down,
Yeah.
petrified. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a bowl, like a soup bowl.
Yeah. That you wonder why I brought spoons.
Yeah, exactly. 4, so we could all share what's
Yeah,
inside.
it's like a dessert.
Yeah, there's 4 of us.
Yeah, like a shared dessert for the table.
Do I need to roll
God.
damage?
No.
Okay.
So you just, Akithros, he jabs his scalpel into you, going for you. You're gritting your teeth in pain as blood is running down your arm and starting to coalesce and move towards the bloody mist. And then all of a sudden, you land back on your feet, and you're like, "Oh, there's an upset vampire head in my hands right now." And as it's just clean cut flesh, you can see the hole leading down to his throat. No bleeding at all. Just like. It's weird, it's like almost clear flesh within him. And the vampire's done the...
Oh, wait. And then I say, wait, guys, I brought the perfect thing for this, and I pull a spoon out of my back.
Okay.
And I just like hold his head up and boop, right on the nose.
The mist is coalescing around Monitor right now. It seems that the magic is trying to seep into him as much as it can.
I
What are you
don't
gonna
feel
do?
so magical.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know how to react to any of that.
You saw as the lightning energy from Sahelia's blast approached the mist, it did seem to absorb some of that damage.
I'm
You should use some fire.
Amelia, do that thing.
Well,
Blast.
you it's your turn.
Yeah,
It's my turn?
It's Akithros' turn.
Okay.
I'm just not sure what I can do to. Like, I don't have any sort of magic besides shadows.
You don't know if it's just magic that damages it.
Grab fire.
Punch the mist.
Yeah, can I run back and grab, like, maybe one of the... Is there, like... Fuck. Can I make a... Can
You can make a quick intelligence check.
I want to know if there's a torch around in the room.
There is torches like sconces around the room. None of them are necessarily portable, but make just a general intelligence check. 11. It seems like its strength is in the amount of blood it contains within the mist, and any sort of attack might be able to spatter that blood away from it and draw from its strength.
Okay, Oh, what is my helmet made out of?
Leather.
Oh shit. I was gonna say it might be able to absorb some of that. I'm gonna take off my jacket
Okay.
and start waving it around in the mist.
All right.
Absorb some of this blood.
Make an attack roll. And
Does
like
anyone have a towel?
add dexterity.
That was 14.
A 14. So you whap it against, and it spatters some of the blood, and it does seem to get weaker. It seems like some sort of damage to it does get applied by force. So punches and the like might still work in a fashion.
I feel like
Didn't
I want
cause
to use
much
something.
damage whapping it with a jacket.
Well, I don't know. Like the way I'm thinking about it now, and I think the way I'm thinking about it as a Keythrost and myself. Like, I'd rather use something with a large surface area so I can get as much of it out of the mist as possible.
There might be a monster.
Alright, so Haley, you're up.
Claw it.
Okay, roll to attack. Monitor, how much health do you have?
What's up?
No, I'm dead.
What?
What?
Oh, are you unconscious?
14.
Yes.
19.
Shit.
What is he?
He's unconscious.
Oh.
Oh, since when?
When did that happen?
Well, that was my turn, yeah.
You didn't tell
I think
us.
it's only been.
Okay.
Turn.
So,
So you have to roll like death saving throws?
okay.
Yeah, at my next turn, yeah.
Okay. So I got a 19 to hit.
19 to hit. Okay. That will hit. Yep.
That will hit.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be I did claws. Can you roll me 2d6 check?
1, 2, 3.
So 7 slashing damage.
7 slashing damage. So you claw into him and it spatters some of the blood. The mist remains floating around. Do you have another attack you want to do?
Does it look like it caused any damage?
It did cause some, yeah.
Yeah, I can do another one.
Okay.
But I don't know where I put my d20. Jack, can you roll another d20?
Jesus Christ.
What?
9.
So that's a 14.
14 hits.
Can you roll me a d8?
4.
Okay, so 8 piercing damage.
Okay. So you claw and bite at it. Monitor, roll a d20.
Alright.
It's gonna decide if you die
Oh, no.
immediately.
Ooh, 20. First one of the night.
That was a natural 20?
Yes.
You wake up with 1 health.
Jesus.
So you wake up just horribly mangled and sick and thin and pale and weak, and you're like, oh!
I'll die again.
Okay.
Say, I want to die again.
Yes.
This isn't worth it. Let me go. Let me go. He holds his breath.
I don't like any of this.
Okay. The vampiric mist, seeing what killed its summoner, heads over to you, Merrick, as you begin breathing it in and it's sucking into your lungs. Make a Constitution saving throw.
7.
7? Yeah. Alright. You take and subtract from your max health 9 necrotic damage
Son of a bitch.
as you feel the strength, like years of training and strength, wither away from you.
So I'm at max at 51, so I'll be 42 max. I'm at 41. Okay.
Okay.
Ooh. I'm gonna use my Nope, I'm out of spells. Never mind.
Okay. It is your turn, Merrick.
Oh, it is my turn. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast on this fucking thing.
Okay. It is pretty much within your space, so you'll be at disadvantage.
Can I take a step back and then do it?
Yes, you could.
He doesn't get an opportune.
It isn't really capable of that. It just kind of
Is a block.
enters your body.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a step back and then
Yeah.
do it.
So you step back, whip your sword at him, and unleash this Eldritch Blast.
So that's 17.
17 hits.
Okay. Where did my D10 go? Oh, right here. 14.
And what type of damage is that?
Force damage.
Okay,
Can
so
I, like,
that's
blow some of the blood away?
So it's exceptionally effective as it just splatters against the wall. Still barely coalesced form. Still there. Still alive. Very faint. Keythrost, you're next.
Don't think I can really do anything. Yeah, that's it. I'm
Okay.
outie.
So then Akithros.
I guess I'm just gonna try punching it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Start wailing on it.
That's 17 to hit.
All right.
6.
How do you want to kill Blood Mist?
Blood.
I've never done this before. I'm really nervous. I kind of want to like try and hit it, but also like push it up against the wall so it splatters.
Okay, so you, in this like leaping punch, you like force palm it, and like as you just sprint against the wall, you smack it against the wall and it splatters all over, and the mist is completely dissipated.
Cool. Now I want to write my name.
Okay, so you write your name as Monitor. You came to consciousness with your 1 HP. You feel this immense wave of fatigue and anguish, and you just fall unconscious.
Oh.
You are not actively dying, but you'll require a long rest before you are able to wake up again.
I can't use
Okay.
like a healing thing on him.
You can attempt to. You can make an intelligence check.
Shake your head no.
You can make an intelligence check.
Okay. I'll do that.
Wait, what did you ask to do?
To see if I can. Oh wow. Intelligence. That would be 19.
So it seems that this type of vampiric magic has reduced his capability of life to 0. He is barely struggling to stay alive right now. As in, his max HP was reduced to 0 because of this attack, basically.
Do you have a restoration spell?
This is Monitor.
Yeah.
Do you have restoration?
Well, no, your max HP wasn't reduced to 0, but he's like so immensely fatigued right now.
I did yesterday. After I take a long rest, I can shoot these spells. I do not today.
Does anybody... Oh wait, do we have any healing potions or anything?
It sounds like that's not going to heal him.
Fuck.
Oh, I have healing spells.
You do, but
You'd be
you're
unconscious.
unconscious.
Wait, I thought he had
I
one.
can do it on myself.
No, it just from how much he lost of his max HP and how this sucking of his capability of life caused him to fall unconscious.
Oh, so he's at like positive 0 right now, basically.
I think, Taco, your max HP is still not 0, right?
No.
Correct. But it's just as from just hyper fatigue right now, he's going to need a long rest before he's able to receive healing.
Okay. I'm gonna take the keys off the vampire's body and look for the right ones to unlock Monitor.
Okay, so I'm going to turn Agony Scream, not that.
Am I like getting cursed? Is that what's going on?
You are just, your body has, like, your capability of supporting your own life has been reduced so extremely much, you just need to rest. Your body has no other functions right now other than trying to repair itself.
Just wants to
He's losing the will to live.
Yeah. So, you, you get the keys, unlock the shackles from Monitor. His body lays unconscious, sprawled on the table. There's a good handful of other keys on this key ring, and there is a locked chest in the corner of the room.
I'm gonna pocket the keys and then take the vampire's body and throw it on top of one of the sconces to see if I can have a pseudo cremation.
So it catches fire and just burns and burns and burns and slowly starts to ash away.
Cool.
Should we look for like an invite to this gala?
There is the locked chest in the corner of the
You had
room.
to say
Yeah.
what's his face.
No, we didn't.
I'll go open it.
Okay. So you open it up and there is 500 gold pieces in here.
Nice.
There is a sickly, sickly looking dagger that seems to, guys. There's a sickly looking dagger, long and seemed to be made for torture and the collection of blood, and it seems to have a vein within it that is able to capture the blood of the enemies.
I was about to say, is it like a hollow tip, so when you stab, the blood goes
Yes,
through it?
yes. So it seems to be some sort of special dagger, and you see a envelope.
We did it.
Let's read
I
it.
take
Open the envelope.
I'm gonna change back into Sahelia, by the way.
Okay.
115 gold pieces from the pouch, and then I take the dagger and drop the blood onto Spader's sword.
There's no blood currently in it. There's a vein
man.
within it.
All right, never
But you,
mind.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Take it from the wall.
Wait,
Oh yeah, is
wait,
there
did-
blood
did
like
he take all
splattered
the
on the
money?
wall?
He
No,
took
I-
115 of the gold,
How
of
much
the
is that?
500 gold.
Oh, okay. I'll take. Wait, is that 1/4 of it?
Ish.
So, yeah, ish.
130.
100
Whatever
125.
of the gold is.
100.
125.
125 would be the
500
quarter.
divided by.
I'm giving my shirt.
I take 125. So
I'll take 125 as well.
I am giving my shirt to Monitor.
Okay. So Monitor,
Why?
right off 250
Dead.
gold pieces in your pack.
He doesn't need it.
Yeah, but we put him in a position to be eaten
Yes,
by
but
a vampire.
Yeah.
I can't
That's
do
true.
this.
I take 124 gold pieces.
So you give him 1 gold piece. So write 251 gold pieces, Monitor.
You're all too kind.
I'll give him 1 extra.
Are you opening the envelope?
Yeah, let's see what's in there.
Okay, so you see written in very fine calligraphy, there's a deep wax seal that has been torn open. And in this it says, Lord Urwer, you are, and you can see, like, it seems to be like a pretty generic note, but somebody carried it in expressly invited. And you can make an intelligence check or a history check if you'd like.
Sure.
Yeah, you can aid
Can
in
I
this.
use
I'll
the
aid you.
inspiration?
No,
I believe so. What is the inspiration applied to, Monitor?
Inspiration applies to ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Yeah, ability check. So you can add your D8.
Okay.
I'm also aiding you so you can roll an advantage.
Yeah,
Alright.
you roll it advantage.
Okay. Can I use the inspiration even with the advantage?
Yep.
Alright, so that's a 20.
Okay. So it doesn't seem like this one was a full-fledged, full-grown vampire. In the structure of power of vampiric culture, it seems to be lesser, but still deadly. However, universally across vampiric beings, they must be invited expressly into any space that
Oh,
they can
yeah,
enter.
to go through the door.
Yep.
Wait, they must be. What
They have
is
to
it
be invited
expressly?
in.
As in, like,
in order to enter
very
some sort.
clearly invited into whatever space they may occupy. And so the note says you are expressly invited to the Riverfield Gala this within 6 days' time,
So they
or
know.
whatever
No.
day's time.
Whoever invited him knows that he's a vampire.
Yeah, and we can't use this invitation because we're not vampires.
Yeah, but who's it signed by?
It is signed by King Denal Alban II.
All knows he's a vampire.
Hooray.
Somebody wrote in the expressly. It is a generic letter, titled
okay.
just
So
to
we can
Lord
erase
Urwer.
it.
And then also keep in mind that the Scrying Eye has a team of forgers.
I think we should get this back to the Scrying Eye.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Can we?
Yeah.
Wow. Alright, what time is it? 3 a.m.?
Probably
Roughly
like
4 a.m. at this
4
point.
a.m.?
So you, with your military knowledge, know that soldiers would be waking up for drills within the hour.
Yeah.
Shit, we gotta go.
Well,
We could
do
stay
we
here
though?
for a day and then rest and then
Yeah,
go.
this guy
Go home.
seems like he's been pretty much a recluse.
You're gonna play house.
And it
in
does,
the
yeah. And
vampire
it
keep.
sounds like he isn't coming out during the day, considering he's a vampire. So it's not like anyone who's training
Yeah,
would see
exactly.
him.
Keep
So
in
we
mind, both doors are broken.
I mean, we can
Not
search
the
No,
one
we
that
came
waits.
through the balcony.
He
And I
he's
went
like
underneath and
4
unlocked
different
it.
rooms.
Yeah, so the front door is good. The 2 interior doors are broken though.
Monitor, what'd
So
you say?
from the outside, it
Okay.
looks normal.
Okay.
There's he has like 4 his area.
Repeat that. You broke up.
Like his chamber is like 4,
4 rooms, I think.
so we can search his 4 rooms that
Oh.
no one can access.
So
Did
there,
everyone bring their sleeping bags?
there was the living quarters, the like surgery room, and then there was that bottom floor with like storage.
Yeah, I say we
Mm.
take a long rest, wait until tomorrow night, and then leave.
Okay.
Okay. So here's where we will call the session. You've survived your first vampiric encounter. Monitor, unconscious,
Barely did.
unable to support himself consciously.
I'm always barely there.
But you have
Oh, fudge.
an invitation to the Riverfield Gala. Although it is named and somebody seems to have knowledge of Lord Urwer's vampiric qualities,
Nature.
a team of forgers might be able to do something with the invitation. And that'll be for next time for the Riverfield Gala.
Hell yeah.
That was our first battle as a named gang.
The Wanderers.
The Wanderers.
We fucked shit up. Bit up.
Alright.
Nice.
Thanks for watching, everybody.